Welcome back. Okay, debt is something you have, not something that defines you. And this week, April 22nd through the 26th, is Financial Practice Week. So here with some financial tips on improving financial health and getting started and staying on track is financial therapist Erika Rasure. Good morning, Erika. Good to see you again.
Good morning. So happy to be here again.
We're here to get tips because that's the big topic. I mean, everybody's finances, that is like number one. People get divorced over it. It is so hard to get out of debt once you're in debt. So what are the goals of Financial Practice Week and why was it created?
So this is its very first year, which is super exciting. And, during this week, I really invite people to really kind of overcome that fear. Let's break down those barriers and move towards a better financial future. And that, of course, includes really taking a proactive approach to our finances. As we know, April is Financial Literacy Month, which is a wonderful, wonderful month dedicated to learning everything we can about finances. And Financial Practice Week itself was created to complement that as a way to practice what we have learned and actually start doing some of these things so they become more ingrained, natural, and comfortable in our interactions with our money and our life experience.
Yes, and how can you start moving from just understanding to taking action and learning how to tackle your debt?
That is one of the biggest issues here. It's making sure that we are being completely honest with ourselves and being brave enough to say, hey, this is what I know about money, this is what I don't know about money, but this is also what I would like to know about money. We harbor so much shame around finances, and money still remains, it's getting better, but it still remains pretty difficult to talk about. And so sometimes we get really uncomfortable with feeling like we have to know everything about money, but we don't. And there's a lot of support out there, and nobody is alone.
Yeah. And, I'm curious, too, about it because it's very stressful when you are worrying about money, you're in your debt. What are the psychological effects, for carrying debt and that has on your decision-making?
The mental burden of having a debt burden is significant. You are experiencing, or most people, a lot of the people I work with at Beyond Finance, my clients there, they are stressed out, they're anxious, they're losing sleep, they're noticing that they're having, other physical effects that just are completely against living a life, that is of any kind of quality. And so it's really being able to make those switches to understanding that, hey, this might be unhealthy for me. And so it's moving away from the harmful effects of debt into a brighter, more hopeful future that is creative and flexible and allows people to exist with their money, or move beyond existing into a place where they can live with their money and live fully. Because debt doesn't discriminate either.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you find yourself spending beyond a set monthly budget?
Yeah, so budgets are hard, as we know. I think most people struggle with budgets, and that's a very normal thing. And I think budgets fail when we, they need to be consistent. It's kind of like going on a diet. Budgets to be successful, they need to be consistent, and we need to be disciplined. But it's really hard to be consistent and disciplined if it's not working for you. So a lot of times we'll just give up on a diet or a budget, and we won't try anything else, and we'll just kind of, live our lives that way. It's a matter of trying to find out what works for you on a consistent basis. And then, if you are finding yourself, at least from my experience and what I've seen with my clients and beyond, overspending happens when there's a mismatch between our personal values and the actions we're taking. It kind of falls right in that gap. And so if you can start closing that gap a little bit and just become more aware of what you're doing and take smaller actions, it can be really helpful in that regard. And if you are finding yourself in a situation where your debt is starting to get out of control, either whether it be from overspending or a life situation happens that makes that debt, manifest in your reality, like a medical issue or a job loss, it might be worthwhile to explore, some debt consolidation options, balance transfers, or even, some of the debt payoff methods.
Right.
There's a lot out there, but it's...
Yeah. I'm curious, too, how do you recognize financial stress, and how can you reduce it and even recognize it?
So a lot of people experience financial stress as like a feeling. So it could be, a tightness in the chest or the throat, or a feeling of, nausea. It can also be losing sleep at night. It can be very often an unwillingness to take a hard look at our finances because they are scary. And those are all valid feelings, and these are very commonly experienced by hundreds of thousands of people. And so if you're finding that you are not willing to engage actively with your finances because it is invoking a very strong emotion in you that maybe is an emotion we would consider on the more negative spectrum of emotions, that is probably the number one sign that it's time to take care of yourself financially. I mean, taking care of yourself financially is one of the greatest forms of self-care. So you don't find yourself in a situation where you are harming your body, mind, heart, and soul, in addition to what's going on with your money.
Thank you for all your tips. If people want more information on this and being, more financially fiscal responsible, where can they go? Is there a website?
Yeah, so we have a financial practice week website up. The best place to direct you to is newsroom@beyondfinance.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you again.
You
We
too,
appreciate all
you
your tips.
too.
I have so many more questions, but it's like we're only limited to time, so we'll definitely have you back.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeremy. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a great day. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, Maddie's going to play a game with us. First time ever.
Woohoo.
Star Power's coming up, guys. I hope you're...